Radio. Yo, hip hop, rapping, R&B.
In the F is going on. Holy audio technical difficulties. We are rocking though, I hope. Can you hear me now? Holy son of a bitch, let's do this thing. Plenty to actually talk about. Schedules rolling out plans to infect the United Nations. Oh wait, what am I talking about? Spread the Rona. That's what we're doing. That is the theme for the summer. Spread the Rona. Let's give all the credit to NASCAR and golf because they started sports. Oh wait, MMA never stopped. Let's get into that. A whole bunch of other topics, I'm sure, as we get into this chaotic episode of DSR2. I hope you guys are staying healthy and safe. Let's do the thing that we do here at DSR2 without further ado. Shutting the moose. Hey, we are back here, another edition of DSR2 on a glorious Wednesday here in the day. The sky was blue, the sun was shining, the temperatures were a little chilly compared to what it normally is, but it still is in the 60s, and we're not flooded out, unlike, unfortunately, those people in Midland. Oh, my God. Again, really, our thoughts and prayers are going out to the city up there. Again, catastrophic flooding, something that's been, they are experiencing a 500-year flood in that, so, again, troubles in our state there that are due to Mother Nature. She's a mean bitch. Yes. So yeah, it looks like we may be getting basketball season. Looks like it is going to be rolling out. The NFL is definitely going to be rolling out. Looks like we may even get college football. We'll see about that. And also, looks like baseball might be getting a plan together to get their season rolling out as well. So yay! NHL says no, we're not doing anything till December.
Yeah, right.
And again, NASCAR and golf got back. Great. I watched NASCAR, and it was an exhibition.
Well, and it's one of those things, Moose, where it's like, okay, I get it. It's exciting. There's some kind of sport back to talk about, but like it's NASCAR. It's NASCAR. I mean, you're social distancing like a motherfucker. It's NASCAR.
Yeah.
It's not a real sport to me, and as far as that kind of goes, that aspect. I mean, I get there's nobody in the stadium, but shit, NASCAR that's all they should have done was just, like, not open the gate and just kept doing shit. Like, right? Like, wipe shit down and do the screening.
Because everybody's wearing masks anyway.
Right, yeah. Wipe shit down, do the pre-screening.
Because you don't want to if you get a wreck, you don't want to be on fire. On fire. There. And again, yeah, if you're hailing fuels and all that, yeah, you're all wearing gear anyway. So, with that, but yeah, that's great. It's still NASCAR.
So
Again, I'm not going to berate it too much.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like
driving and turning left.
I'm glad that there's NASCAR. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad that there's all that stuff, but it's just like, come on, guys. Pro wrestling never stopped. Vince McMahon has guys fall from the ceiling and just keeps on fucking doing the show
because he needs the money.
You know what I'm saying? And then and he's talking about he's gonna buy back the XFL. That's another debacle we could get into today if we wanted. But I mean, it's just one of those things where I just feel like it's a total mess. And we haven't learned anything yet, right? So everybody's all excited, and that's cool, but it's boring sports, for one. And two, we haven't learned anything about how we're going to handle sports going forward. I just really don't think we have.
Huh.
And now everybody's so excited because the president basically strong-armed the states into opening in some way, shape, or form or another after all his constituents. You know what I mean? That's kind
Right.
of how we got what we got going on, to where you have businesses, and businesses too, they want to be open, and we want to get back to business. Everybody wants to get back to business. So certain states are kind of getting strong-armed by their neighbors, so to speak, because we got to get things rolling, if we're all going to work. We haven't addressed any of this shit yet.
No.
There's no so like getting 60,000 people in a stadium, dude, come on, that's not realistic. Even quarantining a whole squad of guys, or a whole league, you're gonna have to quarantine a whole league of guys, even if you stay to a regional area. Like, the logistics of this, I just don't think people understand. And so I find it wild. We talked about it last week. I just didn't think that they'd be able to do anything worthwhile anytime real soon. I think that you could kind of just let the NBA season be done and kind of let the NFL try to figure out how they're going to do things going forward. And maybe somebody can follow that model, or baseball or whatever. But basketball trying to come back, which I always thought would be the first one back. We talked about that way back.
They have the least amount of players on each team, so that makes the most sense.
Right. But it's just a matter of, logistically speaking, it's just, I can't believe some of the stuff that they're already talking. People are talking about college sports, dude. I still poo-poo college sports altogether with. And they're talking about trying to find ways to play games.
Right.
I don't understand it. What am I missing? I mean, I could be, like, this isn't a political thing, and I didn't mean to get into it when I was saying.
It's basically you've got the well, it really is. It's basically you've got for college sports is you've got the SEC kind of basically putting a strong arm to everybody, saying,
Right.
we're going to play football no matter what.
Right.
And it's like, well, then the NCAA is going to try to strong listen. We can't have them have football, and then thus they show that rest of college sports doesn't need the NCAA.
Right.
I mean, you're going to see that eventually. Anyway, where the 5 power conferences tell the NCAA to just sit and spin. We don't need you. What
Right.
are you doing for us? So,
Right.
and that's what is happening is. And again, now you're having Harbaugh at Michigan saying, "Hey, I'm okay with playing in front of an empty stadium."
Right.
Now Michigan is one of those things because they get the TV money from the Big Ten, but the smaller schools, especially you go to like the MAC conference and everything, they can't do that because they need fans in the stands because the fans in the stand pay the bills.
Right.
Big Ten each team gets like $50 million right off the bat for TV or university per year for the TV deals.
Right.
Well, other conferences don't have that. The SEC doesn't even get the kind of money that the Big Ten gets, but they don't care because whatever. I mean,
Right.
but then again, you can write your name down if you even somewhat get your name. If you get like a couple initials right in your name on your SAT, you're accepted to an SEC school to begin with.
Oh, man.
And you can bring all your hate mail if you can actually write a letter.
313-307-5340. The text line is up and available where you'll be fielding those immediately. We are, guys, if you have not had a chance, we have launched the Studio57Radio.com website, so go check us out there. We'll be going live on that site as well soon. We're on the Facebook and the YouTube channels now. Tune in as well as Spreaker. We'll be adding SoundCloud and Stitcher as well. So stay tuned for that stuff. But and make sure you check us out there on the proper social medias. Follow us on Twitter at Studio 57. Anyway,
Now here's the kicker too, because again,
it doesn't matter about playing in front of no crowds. Most of these schools, a good portion of their money is based on gate.
right,
And that scenario, and even if they're not based on gate, they are provided essentially free labor.
right.
You cannot ask free labor to
To
put
go out there.
themselves out at risk.
No.
And then if they just choose not to, you cannot then affect scholarships and do things of that. So then what do you do from there? I just don't see how logistically, legally, ethically, morally, I don't know in which world opening collegiate sports for our entertainment is a good idea.
Not right now, because again, I would think especially this year, it's on there. I can't phantom them doing this on there, but again, it looks like it's going to happen. Now, again, what kind of variations? I mean, we'll see what happens now, because we're still a long way. We're not even June yet, and at the best case scenario is you're looking October, because you're going to be only a conference season anyways.
Right.
You're not going to have non-conference on your schedule, so that's not going to happen big time. So again, between June and October, there's a whole lot. I mean, we don't know what's going on. We don't know how. I mean, still with everything with it. There's a lot of things that can happen with it. And again, the kicker is like already today at Wayne Assembly is they had to shut it down because one worker already tested positive.
It's multiple workers. It happened here. It happened in Chicago. It's happening all over the country. They've been open for 2 fucking days.
Yes.
2 fucking days, and it's already...
And they're not even on full capacity, full shifts. They're slowly getting guys in.
They're so... Dude, you know what they do at the Ford here? They have watches. If you get within 6 feet of someone else, you guys beep.
Yeah.
So they're like, don't act like they're not doing anything. We don't know what works. We've proven that. We've proven that time and time again that we don't know what works. And so if you're to me, it's one thing to get certain sectors of the economy going. That's a different conversation than dealing with sports and athletics, where these cats are on top of each other,
breathing on it. You can't play with a mask.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, the NFL is working on variations of mask or whatever, and their helmets and that. But I mean, yeah, it's great. But again, basketball, you can't. You're on top of everybody. You're sweating. You're breathing. Right. You're spitting, and whatever. On it. Baseball's the one thing where you don't touch anybody.
Right.
That's great. On it, but. Every other sport, you're on top of each other. I don't see how it's going to happen. And again, I know basketball is talking about everybody can get together. They can go to their own facilities, start practicing starting June 1st or sometime in June. And then they're going to
be... One person gets sick, what happens?
I say if one person gets sick, you got to shut the whole thing down.
Well, that's what I'm worried. That's what I'm saying. So I don't know, man. It's just crazy.
The NFL is the one thing, too, because you can't tell me these cats are going to stay quarantined for a whole season. And they're 21 to 35 years old. The
whole season. I don't expect them to get through this little mini bullshit playoff they're trying to do with the 5-game. I don't know how they get through that, let alone like a regular season.
Now I can see it's like the older players on there are going to say, "Listen, I'm going to play, I'm going to the stadium, go home, and that's it."
Well, yeah,
but if I'm in my early 20s and I'm single.
Yeah, I make millions of dollars, and I mean, come on.
And I'm doing it. I got a road game in Vegas. Hell no.
That's what I'm saying. I just think the risk is too high. And let's just assume everybody can follow the rules. Let's just assume you make them all sign waivers and they lose all their fucking money or whatever the case may be. Let's say you do all that. You're still inevitably, there's a risk.
Yes.
And people are asymptomatic. And you guys, And I'd love to hear from you guys on some of this stuff.
Again, like college football, too. You have 85 players. You don't have a 45-man roster. You have 85 guys on it with it. I mean, seriously. I know the guys that are on the walkouts are probably not going to play, but they still practice and they're still exposed to with it on there. I just don't see it working out.
It's too weird. Professionals, it's a different scenario for me because they're paid, and and so I'm not going to. So it's a little bit of a different scenario for me. But I just don't see how. If you're gonna get collegiate sports up, you need to have some kind of. You have to have it figured out.
You do.
You know what I mean? I think even more so than in the pros. And I'm sorry, I don't want to throw like the pros under the bus, but if you're going to make millions of dollars and you love your game like you want to and you say you want to play like you do, then pave the way for these kids and find a way to make this work. We've proven that in this country that we don't know what works. Right. The numbers are astronomical in this country. We have literally done worse than almost every other country.
Right.
So we've proven that we don't know what to do. So that's what bothers me. It's not that people aren't following the rules or doing this or doing that. We just have proven that we don't know what that is, what it is that works.
Because it's something brand new and it's
Right.
constantly and it is.
And so
it
will
is mutating already. It's starting to mutate. You see, again, kids before weren't exposed to it.
Right.
Now they're getting some sort of other symptoms and whatever on it with it because again. It's a virus mutation.
Well, once again, I don't even know if it's that because I think mutations take more time. I think we just don't have the fucking intelligence on this thing yet.
We probably
we
might
just
be the kicker
don't.
Is we just don't have
we
enough
just don't.
information.
I'm sorry because the information and the intelligence we've been getting, very little of it has been consistent.
Right.
There's been very little things across the board that have been consistent, and those are the only ones that have been turned out to be factual. Anything else that's kind of off the consistency, off that range, we found isn't right, and we're all over the place trying to get this thing. It's like Keystone Capers or some kind of it's like a fire drill gone wrong. It's nuts, and so to me, I just feel like it's one thing that we're getting to a point now where we understand mitigation and social distancing works, and we kind of know how this thing is spread, although we don't really know how it, all the effects of it or who's affected exactly how and all that. But we kind of have a general idea, and so we can open up sectors of the economy. I totally get all that. I'm all for it. But when you are talking about athletics, it's a totally different fucking scenario. Moose, right now, we're far enough apart, it's no big deal, and we're having a conversation. We're cool. We got our own gears, so nobody else is at it, so we don't have to wear masks like we would if we were doing something else and we had to share equipment. But
if we had to share equipment, we wouldn't be doing the show.
Yeah, no, I mean, it wouldn't be worth it, so... we just do it remotely like everybody else is doing it. You know what I'm saying? We just do it like that where we are in our own gear with our own stuff. But since we have our own stuff, everything's good and no big deal. But we know some things, but we haven't kind of figured it all out, and we sure hasn't figured out how to implement what we do know and make what we want to happen. I don't see where we've crossed that, where we've bridged that gap. I haven't seen where we bridge that gap. And sports is one of those things that I feel like is going to suffer because if they jump at this too early, I mean, like you said, we were talking about Ford Motor Company has opened up all over the country, and they've had breakouts as quick, outbreaks as quick as they've opened.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you something, guys. You may think this is some fluff ass bullshit sports podcast, and you might be one of the passerbys that think we're just fucking full of shit and this ain't nothing, or you might be a lifelonger that's been here forever and just thinks we're silly. But the point of the matter is, the fact of the matter is not that long ago we had a guy here on in the chat on the social media that deals with these tests.
Right.
He works with a company that makes and utilizes and does the tests. Okay? And there are false negatives with all the quote unquote instant or fast testing. The only test that has been accurate is one that takes like 48 hours or more. I can't remember. So it's all the longer tests that work, all those short rapid tests, they don't work. They just really aren't that accurate. It's one thing if they were 95, 98, 99% accurate.
But when you're getting about a third
false
negatives.
right. When you're at like 65, 67% accurate, that's not good. Whether it's a false negative or a false positive, it's still faulty. And so the false negatives are the scary ones.
Yeah.
Because then you think you're good and you're walking around like, hey, I got tested, I'm fine. I never even had any symptoms. I don't even know why I got tested. This is stupid. Meanwhile, you're just roning up the place. And that's why they have all these rules about social distancing, wear your mask, whatever. We all know it, we've all heard it. We don't really want to get into that. But I don't know how you bridge that gap of all of us having to stay distant and then putting a bunch of athletes in one area. Oh, we got enough tests. We'll just keep testing them. Well, a test doesn't prevent anything, and it doesn't cure anything. It doesn't treat anything. what the fuck's it do? Like, what's it do? I mean, other than being able to isolate somebody, what's it do? But if it's not in the high 90s in accuracy, what's it do?
If it's not in the high 90s, it's useless on there.
I mean, to me, in a scenario like that,
right? If you're not in the high 90s, you might use it. I mean, 65% is fine if you for a passing percentage, but for a medical test, whether to tell you or not, you've got a virus that can potentially kill you. No, it's not good.
Right.
And again, even the test on there, the positive on there, is basically to just give us a number, or basically a benchmark or something of how contagious this is for the population wise, the percentage wise. I mean, that's what it is. It's basically just to tell us, data wise, says, okay, here's how many people are out there, how many people are exposed to it, and basically is how contagious this is.
All
now,
right.
again, there's variations too. I mean, you could be just one of those guys getting asymptomatic, and you're just a carrier, and you never get sick. That's the kicker. Is the difference between this virus and all the other ones is it's basically once you're asymptomatic, you're automatically contagious.
right?
Versus being on it. And I think it just gives a variation with it. But again, looking at sports, and again, basketball is still, is the only sport on there that's a small enough roster they might be able to do this on there. Baseball, maybe, but again, it's a kicker. Is just, can you get these guys to stay within their quarantine on there for an extended period of time? Now, basketball is, even if they start at the end of July, they're going to go what? 10, 15 games left of the regular season and start with a playoff on there? I don't know. Or do they just say, with that on there?
I heard 5 games they want to do. They want to do a 5 game.
5 games. And
yeah,
then,
that's what I heard.
But
a 5 game
all right, so the teams that are already basically looking out, like the Pistons, I mean, they're not going to make it. Why am I even playing?
Yeah, I don't get any of that.
Again, just who's in. Again, the only way I would realistically do it is who's in the playoffs now is in the playoffs, and you get these teams on there and you get a playoff run going, and that's it.
Right.
And call it a day, because you're still going to have anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks worth of games. That's if you're not playing every. I mean, and the plus side is if they're in 2 areas. I mean, whether they're the West Coast, the West Conference is in Vegas, and the Eastern Conference is in Orlando. Until you get to the finals, then you got to figure out where your finals are going to be. That's going to be about it.
Right.
But if I'm like the Pistons or the Knicks or Phoenix, I don't know if I'm putting any.
Even as if you're a bottom feeder, if
Why
you're not,
why am I committing on this? Screw this, and I'm going to screw up my chances of getting a top lottery pick.
right. Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why half the league would want to come back. The only ones that would want to come back, I would think.
Even if I'm the A seed, I'm not going to win.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. Not even all the playoff teams have interest in coming back because they're going to get blown out. If I'm out one of the top 6 teams in the entire league, 8 teams in the entire league, why do I want to even play?
It's got to be. You got to be a 4
I got to be a contender.
You 1 through 4 on each conference. That's it. I mean, that's realistically on it.
I mean, I'm just thinking of it from like a human standpoint. I'm trying to think of it from a logistics
if I'm playing
standpoint.
on there, and I'm not exposing myself to a virus that can kill me for what?
All right. Well, I mean,
so you guys can be happy? Hell no.
I mean, all the way down to. I mean, we're forgetting about all the other cats. We're thinking just players and coaches. I mean, what about like
trainers
and equipment managers and all that stuff? Are you going to just get rid of all of them? I mean, that's what you'd have to do. You'd almost have to go without it. Carry your own jock, homie.
I ain't touching shit.
You know what I'm saying? So then how many of the guys are going to want to do that? I mean, the golfers had to carry their own fucking bags. And they were like, this is crazy. I haven't carried my own bags and fucking...
Couldn't they have got to let at least each one have like a freaking golf cart? What the hell?
It's like, so...
Or at least a pole cart. I got to walk with my bag. You can't even have like one of those, like those Segway ones. The guy's like on a souped up, like a freaking skateboard with the bag holding back, and you got to...
I don't understand why you can't have a golf cart. I mean, I get when you have people there, but if you were doing
if you've got a caddy, then, hey, let him carry the bag. I'm just going for a walk. But, yeah, dude, and this is an exhibition. have your own cart.
Yeah,
Own cart.
I don't get why golf is so weird and it's just an uptight white guy's game sometimes. It's just so fucking.
You know what?
White.
The one thing is,
so,
they at least got to
it's
wear.
so fucking white. That's what it is. Golf is so fucking.
At least they got to
white
wear
sometimes.
freaking shorts because the PGA is such a white man. I mean, I like going golfing that, but like I'm not going golfing in like when it's 85 degrees. Oh, I got to wear my slacks. Screw that. I'm in freaking shorts and the lightest weight polo I can get.
That's why I love Tiger. I mean, he didn't like break the dress code per se, but like he brought a little flavor to the fucking game. That is so vanilla white guy shit. I can't fucking stand it. That's why I can't get into golf.
Who do we like? We like the guys with a little character.
Oh, absolutely.
We loved John Daly, even though he was a train wreck.
Right.
But when he was, I mean, again, when he came out, I go, dude, this guy just grip it and rip it, baby.
Yeah. Yep.
And he's hanging out with.
Well, he was entertaining in every aspect.
Smoking on the course.
I mean, I want to be entertained. We've talked about this movie.
Entertain me.
At all costs. I don't care what it takes to entertain me. Just fucking do it. Like, you make a lot of money, be entertaining, some bitch. But, yeah, so...
And again, like NASCAR, it's so goddamn white.
It is, man. It's like, come on. Let's have a little flavor, a little soul, a little something into this, man. God damn. So, anyway... But, so yeah, coming from a ghostly young man over here. But anyway,
yeah, you are pretty pale.
I am, man. I don't know how I'm so pale. It's because I've been hiding in the fucking house for 2 months. The sun just came out. I saw it the other day and was like, holy shit, what is that?
What's that yellow orb in the
I'm
sky?
like, what is that thing? That's hurting my eyes. Like,
I have to get my sunglasses.
Like, this is the first time I've used my eyes in a while. I've been just going by sonar at this point. I'm just clicking.
He's turning into a fucking bat.
I'm just clicking as
His
I walk.
nose is
I'm just
starting
walking
to
through the house
turn
like.
on.
That's just how I find my
He
way through
hangs
the house
upside
now.
down.
It's
He's
just-
got his little boots and his little rack.
Yeah, it's horrible, man. It's absolutely horrible.
But yeah, baseball is talking about getting. Again, I can't see baseball doing it either. With it, I mean.
What are they gonna?
Freaking Oakland hasn't even paid they haven't paid their rent yet on the Coliseum.
Well,
then again, it is 1.2 million. Boy, you better get a new real estate agent because they basically paid that for the freaking Coliseum. It's a fucking dump.
Well, from what I understand, baseball's not even looking at trying to make this a regional thing, are they? They're like, oh, we'll just play wherever.
Yeah, we'll play at our home stadium.
Yeah, no, you won't. Yeah, no, you won't. Yeah, no.
No.
Well, see, this is the whole thing, because one kind of infects the whole thing. So if you have one team who cannot access their stadiums for whatever fucking reason because of another outbreak or whatever the case may be, then you can't just let the others go about their business, and then you can't just pull these cats and then what? Yeah, you're the only team. You're just screwed. Everybody else is is fine. You just have to deal with it. So like, there's a competitive balance thing that they still have to deal with when they have unions and everything else that's involved. You have incentive based salaries.
And again,
I mean,
also too,
there's
the
a
players,
lot going on
and
here.
the players are going, pay me. Well, we'll give you this. No, I don't trust you.
All right.
You know what? We'll offer you 50-50. You don't think you want? And the owners say, we didn't offer that. You know why they didn't offer that? Because they have to open up the books.
Yeah, they don't want to do that.
Oh yeah, I don't make any money. Let's see the books.
Yeah.
Oh, you're making a lot more than you're telling us.
Right.
Pay me.
Right.
Now I want my full salary for the full year. Pay me.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know, man.
And so
I just feel like all this stuff seems rushed and premature. It's like I woke up one day and everybody decided we're just gonna like have sports. I'm like, what? What did you guys figure out?
you knew the NFL would do it because they just don't care.
Well, and I expect it from Vince McMahon. You've seen what his track record's been. So when professional wrestling didn't hiccup, I wasn't surprised
Because
by
he's
that.
on the verge of losing everything, so he needs to do what he's got to do.
That guy's gonna go to prison, man. If he doesn't die, he'll go to. I think he's gonna go to prison. I don't know, man. Insider trading, like unlawful. I mean, just all kinds of shit. Like, oh my God, the lawsuits alone. I mean, that guy's in deep, deep, deep shit. But it's just one of those things. Like, I think it's. Then what happens when someone's family is affected by this?
Right.
And then they, you know what I mean? And so this becomes a bigger deal. And then you have lawsuits coming from all angles, whether they're founded or not, in any kind of factor.
If one player gets infected and dies, you're going to have a wrongful death suit in the tens of millions.
Yes.
Come out.
Yes.
If you have multiple players in your team that have, then you might as well just basically hang it up. You're going bankrupt.
Yeah. Oh, it'll be the end. So that's what I'm more worried about. I don't want the league to go under being hasty.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what I feel like. Like, I just felt like, you know, Moose, we were talking about how you're going to do this. There's got to be logistics. We got to be safe about this stuff. Once testing becomes accurate, antibody becomes the thing, and we got this and we got that, then maybe we can, you know, open it up to a limited basis. But then we started, you know, just kind of spitballing here, Moose, kind of like we're doing so far here in the open of the show, is, and we're like, the more you start thinking about all the little intricate things that go into just putting on an event and all the people that are there and what you're going to do, it's harder. So we kind of talked about MMA and pro wrestling maybe having the blueprint. A lot of people believe that a step in the right direction was golf and NASCAR. We talked about all of those things, Moose.
Right.
It's really, really hard to put on a television production, with just a handful of people.
Right.
Okay, like our podcast is just me and you and what we do, and we're lucky that we got software and a bunch of different things that makes it super easy for us. But a typical production, especially for something like the NFL or NBA, I mean, that is a huge amount of people.
NFL production, how many?
I mean, I've been to ESPN.
How
Monday
many?
Night
I mean,
Football. I know what it looks like. I've been in the truck.
So to put an NFL game on TV on there, it's got to be what, 75 people minimum?
Oh, I'm gonna say you could have that many people in one of these trailers at any given time. I mean, there's a lot going on.
You got cameramen. Yeah, I mean,
I was in the back. I was in the trailers. I was in catering, and I was doing all that stuff for Monday Night Football when they came to Detroit. I want to say in like 2011 or 12 or something like that.
Okay.
And it was redonkulous. Absolutely redonkulous how many people just had to operate the trucks that provide the feed out so you can watch the game.
Right.
That has nothing to do with the cameras, the miking, and the angles, and the press, and all that that's in the press box, that's in the sidelines, or the stuff that's needed for the teams, and so on and so forth. That's like just like your bare minimum stuff. And then you don't even start thinking about all the things, all the extra, like wild camera angles, and they got the sideline reporters, and they got like mics on the side, and they got camera guys everywhere taking pictures for, you know, Sports Illustrated or whatever. Like, you're talking thousands of people to do that. So even if you go down to a bare minimum production staff and everybody kind of works remotely and they do social distancing and trailers all over the property in the back, since they're not having fans out anyway, there's no need to use parking. Even if you do all of those things, you're still going to have a lot of people in an area. In a pro wrestling or an MMA event,
150 to 200 people for every game.
Right.
This is going right from the NFL operations. Each game would consist of a major production with broadcasters deploying 12 to 20 cameras, depending on the game,
right,
and 150 to 200 people.
Right. And
that's a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, and it's going to be once again, when you start getting in press and you start getting all the people that work with the press and all the things that go along with that, without getting into concessions or having people in or having security or anything like that, just the people with credentials, that is more than that. You know, you're talking you could be in the thousands sometimes.
Oh yeah. I mean, you're looking on there, right.
And so when you have these big, huge productions, So like I said, even if you run it at a skeleton crew, you're still talking about 150 people, and then your teams.
Right.
And
you still
and
got
all
your
the stuff that goes
team
on.
security. You
Right.
still have your beat writers, your writers.
Well,
on
and that's assuming they let that happen.
right. I mean,
I don't know that you let that happen. I don't know that you let beat writers. You don't let anybody in that isn't a credentialed player, essential for the broadcast.
Then you have your local radio broadcast on there too as well for both teams.
Right. Well, once again, now do you remotely do that? Because I think you do that remotely now. I think
if you're the away team, you're just doing it from home. If you're at the home team, you might as well just. I mean, it's rough. It's tough on it to
you know what I
figure
mean?
that out.
So you have to minimize all that, and that's what I think is going to be the biggest problem that they're not foreseeing here. And I wish they would, it's just a lot of people. When you look at a pro wrestling event, they're running 2 camera guys, and then on the other side, way away, they got 2 announcers, and then they'll have all their wrestlers.
And they're doing it at their own facility.
And they're doing it at a closed facility. That's their own.
So I mean, you're looking at
and so that is not
you're
what
looking at
you're
NFL. You're looking at is 16 games. That's
Right.
So it's 200 people times 16.
Right.
That's just in production.
Right.
That's 3,200 people. Then you got your team and everything with it. I mean, you're looking at 5,000 people.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of my thing. You can't, it just becomes out of control. There's no way to mitigate and have that social distancing or follow any of those rules that we're trying to follow that we know we need to do at bare minimum to stay. So I just don't feel that we've done anything yet.
And then you're talking like Ohio State getting Gene Smith basically says they're looking into how they can do a home game with 20 to 30,000 fans in the stadium. Like, you can't have 20 to 30,000 people.
I heard that too. I just think that's nuts to think that
That's
you're going to get any fans in the
any
in the building.
fans, period.
It only takes one fan to have traveled from somewhere and or be asymptomatic, and then it's.
And you're again, even
my
20,000
God.
fans, you're still on top of each other. And
Yes.
as a stadium as big as, say, Michigan or Ohio State or Penn State, you're still pretty damn close. I mean, because you're looking at, okay, instead of I'm ass cheek to ass cheek to another one, okay, I'm here to the punching dummy.
Well, yeah.
I mean, that's the difference between basically is 20,000 to 30,000. We're this far apart. If we're 100,000, we're ass cheek touching to ass cheek.
Right. Oh, yeah. But my whole thing is okay, even if you could achieve social distancing and everybody abides by it and follows the rules, we're all still in the same fucking tuna can.
Right.
I mean, what are you talking about? Like, so there's less bacteria in the petri dish, but it doesn't stop it from growing.
Right.
It doesn't stop it from
Guess what?
spreading.
Halftime, everybody's still going to the bathroom.
Right. Everybody's still going to get food or going to the bathroom or
Are
getting
they
a
serving
beverage.
food? I mean, are the concessions even going to be
Well,
open?
see, this is the whole thing. Food's not the fucking issue. Food isn't really
It's
the
people
issue.
standing next to each other
Right,
getting the food on.
right.
So I mean, are they even going to sell it? I
Right.
mean, really? I mean,
They never stopped McDonald's. They
But
never
you can only
stopped-
get drive-through at McDonald's, where thus
Right.
you're more than 6 feet apart.
Exactly.
And on there.
So-
Whereas, but
exactly.
again, you can't do that drive-through at a freaking stadium.
Right, but
You're,
if they-
again, you're going to stand there and go, okay, I'm going to stand 6 feet apart waiting for my beer.
yeah.
People aren't going to do that.
Well, they don't do it at the grocery store. They don't do it at the grocery store.
They do at Costco.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Well, they wear their masks anyway. But yeah, they don't.
And there's not comments like, "Oh, I'm great. You're taking a stance like that. I hope I look forward to watching your documentary on you one day."
Yeah, I know.
That's not very professional. I'm going to ask for my money back. No, we chose not to give you your money back.
You just leave now. We don't want you here. I feel bad for the people that are out there and on the front lines like that, and they don't make a lot of money, and they're getting, run over by these people that are like, well, I don't want to do whatever. These entitled people that think they can do whatever. So I'm not surprised I'm surprised we haven't seen more videos like that turn up.
I even want to see more about Costco because they're the ones that, like, we're not playing this game here, people.
Well, and we'll
be polite. I mean, there was another one too on some grocery store, and she goes, "I need to go in there," and the guy goes, "You can't go in without a mask."
Right.
Store policy.
Right.
Well, I want to speak to a manager. Okay, I'll get you a manager. Manager comes out there, he goes, "I want to go in. You can't come in without a mask." Well, he goes, "Well, and then she immediately says, well, I need to. I want to go in there." He goes, "You can't come in here. Tell us what you want, and we'll be happy to send a person to do the shopping for you, and we'll put it in your car."
All right. But you can't come in here.
You can't come in here without a mask. Well, I have private items. Okay, we'll find somebody to pick them up and down there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's unconstitutional. No, it's not. We'll be happy to accommodate you, but you're not coming in without a mask.
All right. Yeah, people. I have the freedom to do that. No, but you have to understand they have the freedom to not allow you in their establishment.
It's a private establishment.
Yeah, I don't
if Walt Disney could tell Khrushchev, "Go stick it," you're not coming into my park, then guess what?
Yeah, if they choose to make a
Marty
policy,
at Costco could tell you ain't coming in here without a mask.
Yeah, I love it. It's like, oh, I don't have to do that. No, you're right, you don't. But you don't have to come in either. I mean, it is what it is. It's the same thing. You're right. It's a free country. You can go elsewhere. And
good luck.
Yeah,
going in.
Well, everybody's. It's the same thing everywhere. So, so I get why people are stressed out. So I'm surprised that hasn't gotten worse. But so to me, it just feels like that's got to be the similar conversation you're hearing with players and personnel.
I think players they're kind of.
I mean, everybody. I mean, think about every employee that's involved in sports. Do you want to go back and put yourself at that? I mean, especially if you're a guy that just wipes the floors or winds up cables or, you know what I'm saying? And you make $30,000 a year, or $50,000 a year. Do you want to go back?
No.
And be around a bunch of people and put yourself in a high risk situation? Because I mean, even if you do, testing and screening and all this other stuff, it's still going to be considered a high risk scenario,
right?
You know what I mean? So, no matter how much that
it's
still going to be considered.
And
high
again,
risk.
you get the owners griping about, well, they're on it, dude. You're all billionaires,
right?
Don't give me any crap about I have no money. You're billionaires.
Yeah.
What? Oh my God! You're the poor owner. You only got $900 million. You're still like a billionaire.
Well, and it's not in sports. It's not like other businesses, right?
Right.
A regular business in business life, they have to tighten the belt. They have to cut things back, and they have to do certain things like that because they haven't made
some guy owning a tool and die shop that employs 30 people. He's tightening the belt because it's like, okay, we got to figure out this way out there. But dude, to own a franchise in a major sport means you already have to be a billionaire to be able to buy one of these teams.
Right, just to be in the club
for billions of dollars to be part of our club. So you already have to be wealthy beyond your wildest dreams. Right. So don't give me any crap about you losing money. Dude, you're not losing that much money. Yeah, and guess what? Then you can all write it off on your taxes.
Right. Oh, yeah. You'll get it all back in the end anyway because you print money for these TV contracts. So even if you take a hit for 5-10 years, as long as you don't croak and you're, owners have owned their teams for 20 years and plus, you'll be fine.
You'll you're come like the Rooneys. You basically were founders of the league,
right? You will. You
didn't pay for that team.
Yes, you'll be just fine.
It cost you $10,000.
So, but
it cost your great grandfather $10,000 to buy in.
So it's just one of those things to me. So but I just don't know how you can tell people to put themselves at risk when we haven't really mitigated
especially college
that
again, as we say over there. They're free labor. You can't put these kids at risk.
No, and that's my take on it. 313-307-50-340.
If you disagree with us, then we'd love to hear from you.
If
you agree with us, we'd like to hear on it. But
I agree. I'd love to see sports. Oh, sorry. This is Dave. I'd love to see sports, but I agree college is not an option. So he says he thinks we can get things. I'm with you, Dave. I think, if you're going to get something going, it's got to be a pro sport, obviously. You've seen some sports doing something already and kind of experimenting. I think the more they experiment, the more confident they're going to be to do something. I just feel in my gut that we're just pulling the trigger too fast. We're too anxious. We're too pent up and ready for it to happen now. And I just don't know how something that came on and went so crazy like this can just poof. And you could just like snap your fingers and go back to doing certain things. And that's what this kind of feels like. It feels like, we'll just keep the fans out and we'll go ahead and we'll be fine. I don't know if that's enough because you're still talking about hundreds of people in a condensed area on top of each other. So I don't know that just keeping the fans out is enough.
Right.
So until am I missing something? You can hit us up on the social media, Facebook page, YouTube channel, whatever. Am I missing something? The chat room, text line. Did they come up with something that has mitigated and caused you reason to think that it's safe?
No.
I'm just trying
they are making some headway on there in some of the vaccine trials and everything with it. But again, even at trials-wise, you're still 6 to 12 months away, realistically.
Right.
But yeah, I just don't see it happening on there with it. And again, we all know what players do when they have their own free time in the NFL. Armed robberies, assaults. Now we're hearing about the Cody Latimer because he got arrested for an assault of that. But now we're hearing is he was having a poker game at home and somebody assaulted his 4-year-old and he went off.
Oh, well,
so again, that's legit. I can understand
legit,
that.
Yeah.
So smack my 4-year-old, man. I'm pulling out a gun and I'm gonna cap your ass.
Hell with that. You touch my kid, I'm doing it with my bare fucking hands. I'm ripping your larynx out, and then I'm sticking it up your ass. Then I'm ripping your heart out of your chest and putting it where your throat was. I will rip you to pieces with my bare fucking hands. You touch my fucking kid. Everybody's, I'll shoot him, I'll kill him. I want the satisfaction of murdering them with my fucking bare goddamn hands.
I will rip his throat out.
I want to look him in the fucking eyes when he takes his last fucking breath, and that fucking life force goes from his fucking body. I swear to God.
I'm going Dalton from Roadhouse and rip his throat out.
Oh, man. Jeez Louise. So anyway, I'm bouncing back and forth, guys, from the chat room on the YouTube channel and the social media on the Facebook. So those are other options if you don't, besides the text line. Get in on the conversation and know it's not about what you would do if someone touched your kid, because we know what you do. The same thing we would all do. But to me, I just feel like it's whatever. So, but on the lighter side of stuff, the Mike Tyson stuff. Did you see that stuff? That's kind of fun. Dude,
man, looks like holy crap. At 53 years old, man, he don't look like no old man moving around.
No.
I have a feeling this is he may be getting some sort of therapy on there, testosterone therapy.
Oh, definitely TRTs, definitely.
But
you can get a doctor to say that.
Well, you can get a doctor, especially at 53 years old. You can get a doctor, and again, I don't care.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Dude, he's moving around like a 28-year-old, and he's 53.
Yeah.
So he's got old man mind with young boy strength.
Yeah, that's what it looks like right now.
If I'm about to get,
he just needs to work his cardio. If this guy can go a few rounds or whatever, he could hurt somebody. And I know he's not gonna. They'll probably never give him a card to fight professionally, but it would be neat to see some exhibitions. Or
I tell you again, if it's a him and Holyfield 3 on there, take my money.
Well, but
because it's got to be better than Mayweather.
Yeah, but you already heard Holyfield. He will only do it if there's like a no knockout rule. So he just wants to go out there and do like Rocky and Thunder Lips.
No,
that's what he wants.
Well, yeah, because I got a feeling he's not as shape as.
Well, he says he's training, because he saw Mike, so he's like, "Oh, I gotta go. I gotta do my thing."
Yeah, but he's taking a little bit more of beatings than Mike did.
Yeah, oh yeah, because Mike barely ever got touched other than Buster, really.
I mean,
And
Vander
then
knocked him out, and
Van-
Lewis
yeah,
knocked him out, but he
Lewis,
didn't.
yeah.
I mean, Vander
mean-
took some beatings.
Yeah, I was gonna say he has never taken an extended ass whooping.
No.
So,
Dude,
Yeah.
can you imagine 53 all of a sudden he somehow gets a card and gets a couple fights, all of a sudden he gets a title fight?
yeah, I couldn't see that, but
There's no way.
it'd be nice to see him. 'Cause this is fucking Rocky.
I mean, they were talking to Foreman and on it. He goes, "Oh, coming back, Mike, come back. I want no part of Tyson.
Right. Yeah.
I'll
for sure.
fight it. No, I didn't want any part of him. He
exactly.
knew that was going to hurt."
Yeah. Exactly.
The plus side of that coming back is you see now all the YouTube clips are coming back again. Him beating the living bejesus out of people. I mean, especially the first 25 fights, you go, well, he's 25-0, and 24 of them were like knockouts, and 22 of them were first round knockouts.
Yeah.
Like, holy Jesus!
And how many of
No
them-
sock Mike Tyson walking in there with a towel over his head.
Yeah. Well, it's funny too because he would knock suckers out from body shots.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like
He come out there, and he's right in, and he come out with a left hook, and boom, body shot, and the guy
oh
goes boom.
my god, he'd crumple guys with body shots, man. It's like, oh Jesus.
And you go, oh god, that got hurt.
Yeah, it
That
had
got
to.
hurt.
You could see it just looked like the internal shock, just like bleh, like his
I'm
organ.
bleeding internally
Oh
right
my
now.
god.
I know my organ. I think I ruptured my spleen.
Oh man.
How'd you rupture your spleen, sir? I got hit by Mike Tyson.
Yeah. Oh, enough said. Enough said. Holy shit. I mean, that's what it feels like. It's like, wow. So, but
Again, I don't care who he fights. Take my money
I'm with you.
on there. I mean, that's the people like, I know. And it's like, holy crap.
But I just don't know that he'll get there. But yeah, that would be great if he did. That would be a cool. Did make a great movie, but it's not real. I don't think. But it would be cool to see him fight, even if it was. What was the Rocky movie where he got his card to come back? And
Rocky Balboa.
is that the one where it was supposed to be like a charity event with the champ? And,
Yeah.
and it kind of turned into a tussle.
Tussle, and,
And then-
he lost on a
Yeah, but he-
unanimous decision, but he ended up
It
going
turned
the
into a
distance.
legit.
Right.
It turned into a legit fight. I would be so happy with something half that
Yes.
scenario, where it was just a charity event, but they actually kind of peppered each other a little bit. But I don't think you're gonna. I think that would be the best you're gonna get is a charity event where he comes out there, and I just don't want him to come out and do dude. This is my thing with Tyson. Unless he's gonna come back to fucking murder people, I just don't want him to come back.
No.
I love watching the videos where he's out there, and I love the fact that he's got that short video now where it looks like he could just absolutely kill anybody in sight.
Right.
Good enough.
I'm happy.
Leave it. Just leave it alone. Unless you're gonna actually come back and fucking start murdering people again with them fists, then just let it go.
I want you to start hitting people like Mitch Green again.
Yeah, I mean, he looks great.
And
at
Marvin
his age.
Frazier.
I mean, he looks phenomenal at his age, and I would love to see him come back and fight. But I don't want him to come back and fight unless he's coming back to murder folks. I want the fucking "I'll eat your fucking children" Mike Tyson. That's the guy I want. I want him out there just throwing shit. And so I don't want him to come back and be, Rocky Balboa versus Thunderlips. I don't want him to be Rocky Balboa versus whatever in the other movie where he was old and fugly and just stood in there with the chain. I don't want none of that. If he's going to fight, I want him going. I don't want a charity, tippy-tappy, dance around, touchy fucking Mayweather fight shit. No. If he's going to fight, he needs to be a stone-cold motherfucking killer, or I don't want to see it. Because that's what I remember Tyson. That's what I remember him for, and I don't want to see it any different.
Yeah, it was Rocky. It was basically in the boxer he went against, who's again was Antonio Tarver, and it was Mason the Line Dixon.
Yes.
Because remember, it was like they had who was the greatest on it because it came out as a video game.
Yes.
Rocky Balboa.
Yes, that's what it was. Yeah, my girl was watching that like last week or something.
It wasn't half bad. It was put it this way, it was light years better than Rocky V, which
Yes.
really now they even say that really never happened. That was like
we
that was like the Dallas, the Bobby Bad Dream and everything.
So this is going to be an unpopular opinion, but the Rocky movies got off the rails, and this one, well, at least there was some kind of an excuse to get him in the ring that almost made sense. But I think when you got to a certain point, it's just And I like the Creed movies over some of the later Rocky movies.
Yes. I like the.
So I mean that's an unpopular opinion, but I thought the Creed movies
especially
were good.
again Creed 2, where you got to bring back the whole Rocky 4 on there with it.
Yeah.
I kind of like personally. I liked Rocky 3 better than Rocky 4
I did too.
because we all know Dolph Lundgren broke Stallone's sternum.
Yeah.
In Rocky 4.
Right.
Here, we'll mix up and punch. Oh, that he really, whoa! Oh my God! I think I gotta go to the hospital. I think I'm gonna die.
Yeah. That was the one cool thing about that later Rocky movie when that with the Creed movies is bringing them back.
Yeah, and it's his kid, and
Yeah,
it was good because
yeah.
it's like okay. It just made the same point. Bridget Nielsen's a bitch.
Yes.
Her character's a bitch.
But it was, but that was fun. That was cool. I like that whole full circle thing. So but once again, that was a Creed movie. I like that better than a couple of those late Rocky movies. Man, they were just bad. And I don't want a Rocky situation when it comes to Tyson.
No.
I'd rather just remember him the way he was. Now, if he's going to come back and he's going to throw down, and he's going to come out like that in a real fight, and they give him a card, and he's going to do it, and he says he's gung-ho, and he's showing these tapes that he's a killer, and he's going to come out that same way, I'm with you, Moose. Take my fucking money.
If he's gonna come out and fight Klitschko for real,
Yeah.
take my money.
Yeah, I'll come out and I'll watch it. I mean, just for the spectacle. But I would certainly hope that he doesn't do some kind of I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to see him do some charity ass bullshit.
No.
But just my take on the Tyson thing. But he does.
We got
look
us
great.
talking about him again.
Yeah, he looks great, man. And I sure as fuck wouldn't want to get hit by that
Hell
guy.
no. Even before he was looking at, I'm like, no,
Right.
man. I saw The Hangover. He really hit that guy.
Yeah,
Wham!
I don't want any part of that.
Still got it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want any part of that guy, man. That guy is a beast. But yeah, so I'm definitely
got no neck.
Yeah, I-
He's like a
def-
bulldog.
definitely impressed by what he's been able to pull off. So, but yeah, I think you're more likely to see boxing and martial arts and that stuff be continue doing their thing. Dana White is going to have Fight Island. He's determined to get his little Fight Island shit together, which everybody still fucks with him about. Fight Island apparently is going to be Florida. I mean, because that's just where they're going to have everything at.
Why am I not surprised?
And it's just funny because they've had multiple events there already with no fans, and I think the only thing that's different is subtle stuff. I don't know if they care because you spar like that all the time. So it's just like, okay, now I'm sparring against somebody I don't know, just like if I would get ready for a regular fight. And
Right.
the only difference is I'm not gonna get stopped before I get hurt. Because I got a fight coming up, kind of thing. They're gonna just I'm gonna get hurt if it's gonna happen. So, so you can run an MMA fight with 2 camera guys,
Right.
3 judges, your TV guys, your play-by-play guys far enough apart, and then just your fight camp's been isolated and quarantined through the camp. They kind of do that anyway. So if they just kind of ramp up, then there shouldn't be an issue with the guys that are next to each other. It's just, you got one guy that comes up sick and there's an issue. So you can't say that, no, they're not doing the right shit. It's dirty as fuck. We're all going to die. You could not say that if you wanted to because it's in your motherfucking fight contract. So you can't disparage they have a disparaging clause in every single contract they've ever written. Just so you know. It's not new to what's going on now. But so you can't even talk about it. And they're like, yeah, no, nothing to see here. But it's a much smaller, more contained unit. So big sports, I'm not sure how we're going to do it. Football, not sure how they're going to do it. But they're going to roll it out there. We're going to see how it's going to go. Hopefully, for God's sake, I'm in no hurry to go to a stadium. So
No, I'm not going
if they
anytime soon.
open up to fans, I'm not in a hurry to go.
Right.
If they get some TV stuff going, I'll watch it. Like, I'll watch it and I'll fucking watch it. I will love it. I will absorb it. I will soak it in, and I will love every fucking little flaw in it because I'll just be happy to have sports.
Right.
But to me, you know, it still seems like a very wild premise. That's been the majority of our first hour today, guys. Thanks for hanging out. If you haven't had a chance, go to Studio57Radio.com. Follow us on Twitter at Studio57, like the Studio 57 Radio Facebook page, and subscribe to the Studio 57 Radio YouTube channel. We got a chat room going on over there. I'm kind of bouncing back and forth from there in the Facebook feed. Damn it, I just dropped the YouTube feed. Now I'm going to go back in there. Damn it.
Well, I guess it's time for a break. So
Yeah, there we go. We could do that if my fucking audio doesn't fucking shit out on us. I don't know what that
Hopefully he
was all about
doesn't
earlier.
do that. So we're going to take a quick break here. We come back here. We got lots of more fun stuff on here, like Oregon football signees getting arrested.
Oh, man. This is good
We are
stuff.
DSR2 Studio for some radio.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Party people, this is the original Doc Ice, and you are definitely listening to Studio 57 Radio. And if Studio 57 Radio isn't on, then your radio ain't really on. Check that.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Hey everybody, Scrappy here to tell you about That Radio Show. Hang with me as I break down the world of entertainment with great guests, celebrity interviews, awesome games with wonderful prizes. Also, we've got the biggest library of underground hip-hop of any station on the net. You mix in a little stand-up comedy and a text line so your voice can be heard, and you got a pretty good little show. But add listener-controlled programming? Yeah, you heard me. Listener-controlled programming, where you, the listener, can decide what makes it on the air. And now you've got the greatest show ever created. So join my show, your show, our show, the people's show, That Radio Show, each and every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, only here on Studio 57 Radio.
Hey everybody, this is your boy Big D, here to tell you about Mark for Life Tattoos. Guys, this place is the cleanest, most laid-back studio in Metro Detroit, and the artists are top-notch. And if you're like me from the D, you need to stop in on Fridays for that D-Day and get your old English D for only $20. Not interested in tattoos? Mark for Life does body piercings. Mark for Life is located at 22533 Van Dyke in Warren, and the guys are there 7 days a week from noon to 9. So give them a call at 757-2222. That's 586-757-2222. Tell them Studio 57 sent you and get 20% off. So what are you waiting for? Call them now.
Hey everybody, Smokey here to tell you about Allstate. With winter fast approaching, the most important thing between you and the road is your tires. So don't put your safety in just anybody's hands. Go to Allstate Tire. With new and quality used tires available, you can trust Allstate Tire for all your tire needs. You can visit them at 14208 9 Mile Road in Warren, or give them a call at 586-779-8759. Allstate Tire, your source for quality new and used tires.
What's happening, everybody? Scrappy here to tell you about Love and Life Club. Love and Life Club is a social networking club that's located at 19960 James Cousins. That's a lodge service drive between 7 and 8 Mile Road in the D. You need to stop in for $5 Fridays for great music, food, and drinks. I personally recommend the chicken. Love and Life Club is also available for rental for bachelor parties, wedding receptions, or any party for that matter. For more information, log on to www.loveandlifeclub.com. That's loveandlifeclub.com, or call D at 313-999-2824. That's 313-999-2824. That's Love and Life Club. If you're loving life, you need to be in the club.
Are taking over this broadcast for the ultimate underground.
Studio 57 Radio Original. You know when you hear that sound, you're gonna have a good time, because that's the sound of the Ultimate Underground live concert webcast from the Detroit area. We go to the most famous, or should I say infamous, venues in the D, and bring the underground music scene from the streets to your computer like nobody else can. There's only one catch. You never know when and where the Ultimate Underground is going to take over a broadcast. So you need to stay tuned to Studio 57 Radio all day, every day, for clues on when and where the next Ultimate Underground may happen. Now there's no other station on the net that's going to give you this live webcast of some of the hottest artists in the D. That's the Ultimate Underground live on your home for hip-hop, rock and metal, Studio 57 Radio, baby.
Goodbye.
You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets.
Studio 57 is a 32-track digital recording studio that utilizes
Cool Edit, Logic Pro, Shure, AKG, Sennheiser, Yamaha, Korg, Mackie, Boss, Ibanez, Fender, Fruity Loops, and many, many more to make your music pop.
experienced and friendly engineers make Studio 57 feel like you're home away from home. With beat creation, mixing, mastering, digital media conversion, and DJs for any event, Studio 57 Records is your one-stop shop for all your music entertainment needs. We have online bill pay and flexible payment schedules. That makes Studio 57 the place to be. For more information, visit Studio57records.com. That's www.studio57records.com. Or call us at 586-420-3390. That's 586-420-3390. Or log on to Studio57records.com. And just remember one thing, baby.
You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets.
Party people, this is the original Doc Ice, and you are definitely listening to Studio 57 Radio. And if Studio 57 Radio isn't on, then your radio ain't really on. Check that.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Welcome back, Rebels. Thanks for hanging out with us on this action-packed edition of DSR2. We're kind of talking about how we think they're going to go with sports going forward, as a lot of leagues are kind of laying out their plans on what they're going to do for their seasons and what's going on there. Also, we got into a little bit about college sports on that tip, as well as the Mike Tyson and his, well, I'm going to tell you, it's a comeback, whether, don't call it a comeback. But it is, man, because he looks great at his age, whether he fights or not. He looks outstanding. We want to see him kill people and eat their children, but that's a whole other story. And this is a whole other hour of DSR2, so let's get into hour two. Let's do the do that we do at DSR2. I am Scrappy, and here is your host, Johnny the Moose.
Hey, we are back here for another edition of DSR2. We are in the second hour on this edition here on a glorious Wednesday here. We got the big weekend coming up here, Memorial Weekend. At least in Michigan, we can all go up north now. God, I don't know if I want to.
Yeah, well, I know it's funny, right? Because when I was like, oh, well, we'll go up because there's a good chance that I'll get back to day work, my day job, here pretty soon. So it was like, okay, if I'm going to get to my day job pretty soon, then we need to get back. If PTO time is a thing of the past, okay, for anybody that knows what the fuck that is in this world. Some people don't have that or even know what I'm talking about. But if you have a decent job, you generally earn paid time off. And that's not going to happen this year for a lot of folks because if you got laid off,
You have to use your PTO
yeah, all
time.
that PTO time got paid out, and you're gone, and you're starting from scratch. So a lot of us who were deemed non-essential will not have vacation this summer. There'd be no time to do family things, and that's what we do here in Michigan. We take our families up north, and we camp. We do water sports and nature shit, and we act like clowns and drink in front of the bonfire and pass out in the back 40 and all that shit. So we were all about it. We're ready to go because I'm probably going to go back to the work the first, if not sooner. So we're like Labor Day weekend. We're going to go up regardless.
Right.
And we're going to just enjoy our property. If they don't allow us to go anywhere else, I don't care. When she loosened them up after, the rally at the Capitol and all that shit went down and everything, she loosened the reins a little bit a couple of weeks ago. But now they fucking opened up bars and restaurants starting Friday.
Right, up north.
Up in northern Michigan. And I was like, holy fucking God. Everybody's going to run up there.
Oh, yeah. You better heading up tomorrow night or early Friday morning.
Well, that's what I said. Was like, I want to go, but we can't. And she's like, well, she's working from home, so she's like, I'll take a shower at lunch and we'll just leave as soon as I clock out. So? Like, what's that matter? If we leave at 5:30 or whatever, or if we leave at 6:30, like, it's not going to matter. Everybody's going to be going up there on Friday.
Yeah.
I said, so just get ready for a 4-hour drive.
Right.
That's what it's going to be this time. And then I go, the good thing is though, as long as they don't call me back right after the holiday, we're going to just stay.
Right.
So I'm not going to drive back what everybody else does, and at least the ride back won't be so bad. But we will stay for a week, but if I can for up to a week, depending on if I get called back to work or not. So I could end up having to get called back and having to come back. I don't know. I could get a call tomorrow or Friday saying work on Tuesday. And if that's the case, then I'm doing just like everybody else, and it's going to be a clusterfuck. But I am going up. I went up last week to do some yard work, and I didn't even go into I'm going to tell you my story, right? So they allowed us to go to our other properties a couple of weeks ago, but nothing's still open and blah, 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 blah. So northern Michigan's going to open up bars and restaurants starting Friday.
Right, with limited capacities.
With limited capacities and all that other stuff, which is cool, whatever. If you look in the northern Michigan area, as long as all of us from down here aren't up there, you can find a place. There's so many restaurants that you just pick a different one, like if they're at capacity already. As far as that they'll be running limited amount of people in there. So you'll be able to go somewhere and eat. But I went up there this weekend, and I'm thinking, I'm not going to go anywhere. I want to pack all my stuff. I don't really want to go anywhere. I don't want to spread. I'm trying to mitigate my impact. Yeah. And I've been asymptomatic, and I've been in lockdown for 2 months, dude. I've fucking not left this goddamn fucking house, with the exception of going to my mom's to drop off meds, for fucking 2 goddamn months. Dude, I'm serious. I'm living to this as hard as anybody is. I'm fucking going nowhere. I drive a mile down the street to drop off fucking meds to the fucking doorway to my fucking ma's fucking twice in 2 months. So I went. I said, fuck this. I took my dogs, and I packed all the food I needed and everything, whatever, to go up there and get my place set up and ready. So when we go up for this weekend, we don't have nothing to do. And I had a tree down, and I had a lot of work to do up there. So I get up there, and I pack my food, and I mitigate my footprint, and I do whatever, but it's a long drive. So since I didn't fill up before I left, I only had 3/4 of a tank. when I went to leave to come home, I had to fill up. So I can get all the way up there with my trailer and do what I need to do on 3/4. That's not an issue. So I got to fill up to come home. So I go into the gas station in the town, and it's fucking banging. The gas station's banging. I mean, everybody's got their boats out, and it is fucking banging. Now, keep in mind, there might be a few people that are up there from downstate, but all these cats, like, I recognize them. They're from around town. Like, I've had my place up there for 6 years. So I recognize cats just because it's a small town. Even if I don't know them, you recognize them because you see them every fucking where. I'm looking around. Nobody looked like. I can tell the downstaters. I can tell the visitors, the tourists as we call them, and the people that have property. You could tell the difference. Dude, these cats, if not all of them, are all residents up there. All getting their boats out, all doing their thing, all packed up, going in and out of the gas station and the little party store there, or, the little food mart in there, and doing their thing and whoop-de-woo, and you can't even get a pump in the motherfucker. I saw fucking not one single mask. Not a fucking one. Not a single one. And I know my brethren, I'm going to get murdered if my friends up north hear me say that, because they will all swear to God that everybody's wearing their fucking masks up there. I'm fucking telling you. When I went to the motherfucking gas, I didn't go into town. I didn't go to the Walmart and the Home Depot, and I didn't go to the restaurants, and obviously, and I didn't go touring around like I would normally pedal around town and spend my money in town. I didn't do any of that. But I did go to the gas station in town. And there wasn't a single fucking mask in the motherfucker. I came out, and before I got out of my truck, because there was someone at the pump next to me, I put my mask on. Just because of somebody else. I put my gloves on because that fucking goddamn thing's dirty as fuck. I'm sorry. I did that shit before. I never ever touched the fucking ATM, and I never ever touched the motherfucking gas pump buttons. I don't do it. I've always took my shirt, wrapped it around my finger, and gone like this. Everybody makes fun of me. But that's a fucking... I watched a fucking grown-ass woman pick her motherfucking nose and wipe the boogers off on her teeth and then fucking hit the ATM buttons to get her money out. I will never, ever, ever motherfucking ever touch a fucking button like that again with my bare hands.
You're going to win that little thing there where you can open up doors and hit the buttons on it.
Yeah, I don't want to touch it. So I was always like that anyway, so that's not a big difference for me. But I guess my point is, I fucking put my rubber glove on before I got out so I could hit the buttons. And since there was a guy next to me, I grabbed my mask out of my door and I put my mask on. And everybody looked at me like I was fucking crazy. One person out of the 30 people there in that fucking gas station, I actually guilted into them putting a mask on. I saw them go and put their little mask on and then sit in their car. Like this. Like, you're in your fucking car. You don't need your fucking mask now, you idiot. And put mine on when I was in the car.
I get it.
Put it on when I got out because of the guy next to me, not because of me.
Right.
I'm fucking fine. I don't know. Maybe I'm asymptomatic and this guy's got fucking leukemia for all I know. Fuck. That's why I'm fucking wearing the goddamn thing, you dumbasses. But yeah, nobody was wearing them up there. And so when you guys go up there, fucking wear your shit. Be respectful to everybody else up there.
I'm not going up.
I'm going up, but I'm just not going into town.
We got too much crap on there, and I said we'll probably go for the 4th and that. I'm like looking on it, going 4th on like a Friday or Saturday, something like that. All right, let's go up. And
4th of July is going to be worse, I think.
But we're gonna go. We're not going into town. I mean, again, we're in Hockyak, and trust me, there ain't nobody go. Even in the summer season, they don't get anybody up there. Yeah. But I'm not going into Mackinac. That's for damn sure.
No, and I have a tourist town. Yeah. And so, Houghton Lake's pretty touristy.
It's very touristy.
A lot going on there. So I just won't go into town. I'm in the outskirts of town, and I'm in the country on a dead-end road in the middle of state land. I have a horse ranches around me. But I'm going to tell you something that fucked me up. Because they opened up, and I think it was the first or second weekend to open, and it was the first one where it was nice up there. I went on a Thursday and came back on a Saturday instead of going on a Friday and coming back on a Sunday. And I was leaving on Saturday, and they were setting up for a fucking rodeo. They're having a rodeo. I've got a bull ranch and a rodeo ring and the whole fucking thing at the end of my street. So my street's a dead-end road, and it's like 3 horse ranches, this rodeo place, and then like 6 or 8 like cabins with a couple of people that live there spread out in the mix. And it's a dead end dirt road, and it's super, super long, so everybody's really far apart. But on my road there, at the very foot of the road, where the major intersection, I guess, if you want to call it that, would be, there's that rodeo, and they had their fucking shit all set up, and they were getting ready to have a rodeo. And I'm thinking, what in the fuck is going on? The only good thing is that they didn't do it this weekend coming up, where everybody's going to be up there. But I know they do it to benefit the fire department and a lot of other cool things. So I don't want to knock them, but I'm like thinking, God, what are you guys doing to mitigate? Are you doing anything? I don't know. I mean, maybe they are. Maybe they got a bunch of things going on, but to me, it just doesn't seem like that was something that...
I'm not going to rodeo.
I'm not going to anything like that right now. I'm going to wait. I'm going to ride it out until they figure it out. Everybody's like, oh, you need a vaccine. Dude, I'm not even going to be... When the vaccine comes out, I ain't even going to be on a hurry to get that. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Have you seen the first generation iPhone? It's a fucking piece of shit. I don't want the first generation fucking Corona shot. Y'all can have that motherfucker. I'm going to wait till Gen 5 comes out, okay? And I find out it doesn't cause anal bleeding and autism. Okay? I'm sorry. Like, I'm down for vaccines. Don't get me wrong. But the way they're pushing this fucking stuff out there, I'm not taking the first one. I'm gonna wait.
This ain't like...
I'm going to wait till the human trials are done first, thank you. I don't want to be a part of them.
You don't want to be part of the human trial.
No, I'll wait till they're done.
Just wait till Gen 3.
Right. But, I mean, so... It's just one of those things, man. I just feel like, you know, I don't know. It's overcome our whole daily lives, and to get the sports and stuff like that, to get that in there, it just seems kind of trite when there's so many other things going. When they finally get something figured out, let's roll the sports out. Until then, I think we need to pump the brakes. But I feel like everybody was looking at me like I got fucking 2 heads, because if I say that shit in sports circles, it's blasphemy, and everybody seems to just think we can go back to business as usual, and I must not. I missed something. Apparently, the coronavirus is no big deal now. I woke up and it was no big deal. That's what it feels like, the way they talk about, they roll some of these schedules out. It's too much. Well, I like where NBA and some of these other leagues are saying, like, you know, we don't know. When we see this kind of trend, or we can find ways to mitigate this, that, and the other, then we'll do that. But when you start putting hard-line schedules out there, I have a problem with that. So.
Well, you know what? Who doesn't have to worry about the trends or coronavirus is Oregon signee Luke Hill, who is basically a signee for the Ducks 2020 recruiting class in football. Ooh. He doesn't have to worry about that because he's been arrested and facing 8 different charges, including attempted murder and the first degree, according to arrest records in Prince George County in Maryland. Hill is charged with attempted loaded handgun on a person, possession of a firearm by a minor, use of an assault weapon, use of a firearm, attempted first-degree murder, reckless endangerment, and first-degree assault.
Oh, you mean a Saturday?
Preliminary hearing for his trial is set for June 19th. He was a 4-star member of the recruiting class out of St. Francis Academy in Baltimore, Maryland. Listed as the 7th best player to state, 15th quarterback recruit in the country, as well as a top 200 recruit nationally.
Yeah, not anymore. Can you say Aaron Hernandez early? I don't know.
Ducks. He also received offers from Clemson and Maryland. I don't think Michigan or Clemson is going to say, nah, we're going to pass on that one.
Yeah, sorry, your scholarship's
but if you
think you get a scholarship, I mean, that longest yard.
But if you're the U or Florida State or Florida, yeah, they'll sign you up.
Yeah, oh yeah. They'll post your bond as part of your scholarship.
Especially if Urban Meyer goes back to USC will be looking at him.
Post your bond as part of your scholarship. That'd be amazing. That would be absolutely amazing. Send your hate mail to 313-307-5340. Oh, my goodness. If you guys haven't had a chance, go to our website, studio57radio.com. Also, like the Studio 57 Radio Facebook page and subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can watch us on all of those platforms, and as well as TuneIn and Stitcher, along with a couple of other platforms. So make sure you don't miss out. Moose, we could do a whole segment. We could do a whole gimmick, like a whole debate. We're going to stay in the sports world. MLB, we have to pick a league. Okay, so I've done this before with celebrities, where you pick a type of celebrity, whether it be a musician or an actor, an actress. But since we're just doing sports, you pick a league, and then you pick a crime. Okay, and then you get 2 points if you pick the sports league correct next time there's an arrest.
Okay.
And then you get 3 points if you picked the crime that he was accused of, which gives you 5, right? I think it was. And then you get bonus points if you get both correct in the same arrest. Okay.
Okay.
And then you just, every week when we have, whenever we get like a little multiple arrest or a new arrest, we just will pull the card out. So we'll do it ahead of time. We have to predict. And we have to put it on a card, and we put the card away. And then we'll come back to it when there's an arrest. So next week, we'll have to fill out a card. So I'll get all the rules and the things, and I'll get some graphics up so everybody can see and they can play along with us. And then the winner will always get to pick first. And then you can't double up on the crime or the league.
Okay.
Okay? So that way that there's some kind of space there. So that's how we'll play the game. And we'll just call it, I don't know what the fuck we'll call it. We got a week to figure it out.
All right, we'll figure it out.
Sound good? Sound fun?
That sounds fun. We
I
can
mean,
do that.
and it's just one of those games where we'll lay down the rules, we'll put it all down, we'll fill the card, and we'll just put it away. And it won't be a big deal until one of these athletes gets arrested. So, like, I don't know, 15, 20 times a season, we'll have a...
Or twice today.
Yeah. Well, see, then you do them both on 1 week, right? If you have multiple arrests over the course of a week, you can get some points, man. And then we'll tally up and we'll keep the total score, too. And then, at the end of the year, we'll cash out. And every season, when we take our summer layoff,
Yep.
we'll start from scratch when we come back. So we'll do a little mini season, kind of like they're doing now. Or trying to do, like the NBA's trying to do. What do you think? Does that sounds like
good.
a plan? All right, cool. I'm always down to play games. And y'all can get into it, too. Maybe I'll make a listener's bracket.
Yes.
And the more people that pump in ideas, I'll just, take the average of what they got. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if 100 people say this, or 3 people say that, and 5 people say this, and 8, I'll just, kind of tally it up, and we'll make a listener's bracket. Maybe we'll do that too. Interesting. Ooh, things that this is what we've resorted to here.
Just like the
Sports
old
Talk.
days too, when I used to do death pool.
Yeah, there you go.
We don't predict and we don't root for death. We just predict it. That was our motto.
Well, isn't that what happened to Wade Wilson?
So, yeah, obviously DeAndre Baker who would have been one to pick out for the arrest team for an armed robbery attempt. He's saying, I wasn't there. It wasn't me.
Mistaken identity?
I know, but him or Quentin Dunbar, both of them are arrested for attempted robbery, armed robbery, and he says it wasn't me. I wasn't there. I can prove it. Johnny said, "You know what? Just stay home.
Yeah, right.
You don't need to come to the guy.
Yeah,
OTAs
well,
or any
and
of
that's
that.
one of those, well, okay. What was the robbery place in question? What was it? A bank? Was it a restaurant? Was it a liquor store? What was it?
It was an armed robbery, so I think it was a person they tried to rob.
Well, that's very likely the case that they mistaken identity. That's almost more likely than he actually did it.
Yeah, it was down in Florida.
Why the fuck would a guy that makes millions of dollars rob somebody, strong arm rob somebody?
Yeah, it was down in Broward County, Florida.
Yeah. Oh, duh. Every story starts with somebody from Florida.
He had issues to begin with coming out of college.
Oh, I don't doubt that for a second. But what I'm saying is his story of it not being him, and he can prove he was somewhere else, is just as is more probable than a $1 million potential athlete strong arming somebody for their fucking wallet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just as probable, or maybe more probable, that it's a mistaken identity.
It wasn't him on there, unless you're Aaron Hernandez.
Right, yeah, exactly.
That was
the Notorious POD episode 1, by the way, if you want to check that out. Shameless plug. On the website, studio57radio.com. Anyway, but yeah, they... so... Like when you rob a fucking bank and they have this surveillance footage and the tattoo on your hand is visible. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like that.
Right.
So, I'm going to tell you my little story, Moose. Okay? I wasn't always this wonderful, God-fearing man in front of you. I did some pretty crappy things in my life. And, I've been a victim of the mistaken identity. I had the ultimate alibi, though. I was already in fucking jail. So, ultimately, I was, cleared of any accusations. But I had to go through the process.
Right.
Of being, okay, there's not enough here. We can't prove shit. This wasn't him because obviously we have his record and he was in jail that day, so he didn't do. So they had to look that up, and I had to go through the But no, I was locked up. They had me cuffed, and ready to roll. They locked me in the fucking liquor store. I got popped for some dumb shit when I was younger, some fucking weed when I was a kid, and they took my ass to fucking jail. I bailed out of jail. And the first thing I fucking did was go get some more weed because it was Super Bowl Sunday. And I got some weed, and I stopped at the liquor store to get something to fucking drink to hang out with my homies because I was just in fucking jail. And the fucking dumb bitch at the liquor store thought I was there the night before robbing the place. I was in jail for fucking weed, bitch. And then they came and got me, and because I had weed, they fucking popped me again. Now, it's funny because it's fucking legal now, and none of that shit fucking matters. And I was a kid back then anyway. But they fucking locked me in the fucking place, dude. The bitch hit a fucking button and locked me in the fucking place. They got the bars and the liquor. It's me, motherfucker. Because they thought I was somebody else. It wasn't me. I was in fucking jail. And ultimately, they couldn't charge me with anything other than the shit that I already... So I ended up going to jail again anyway. Because I had fucking shit on me. Once again, a dumb kid with fucking pot when I was fucking a teenager. But, I mean, so mistaken identity, that's easy.
Oh, yeah.
But when you have fucking video, you have film, you have a witness that knows that individual, that's totally different. So, I don't know. But any crime will do, whether you're found guilty or not, for our game purposes. Accusation is all we need to play the game. We're not looking for convictions. But... I am kind of curious of how that's going to play out. Because if you look, the NFL doesn't have a great history.
No.
A lot of these guys found to be guilty and have done some nefarious things. So I kind of, I kind of wonder. But, I mean, you've seen it before, whether it be other celebrities or other athletes get exonerated later. So
well, somebody didn't get exonerated, but he got reinstated was... Alden Smith, formerly of the San Francisco 49ers,
nice.
Got reinstated conditionally 1 year, unconditionally reinstated by the NFL and signed a 1 year deal with Dallas. So Dallas likes these guys where...
Oh, they do. Oh, speaking of Dallas derelicts, Greg Hardy got into MMA.
Right.
And he's been training. And, he is a UFC heavyweight now. And Shaq beat his ass. It was fucking great. Shaq. 50-something-year-old untrained Shaq.
Yeah.
Not in a real fight, but he's got this show that he does, and they couldn't find anybody bigger to spar with him. He wanted to fight a UFC heavyweight, and it was Greg motherfucking Hardy. And that guy is swole as hell. But that's the last fucking thing that guy needs to be doing is fighting for
Right.
a fucking living. And he's one of those fucking cats. But yeah, Shaq put it to him pretty good. But Shaq's 100 pounds heavier too.
At least
I mean, he's a
7
fucking
pounds
man.
heavier and about 100 pounds heavier and then
7-8 inches taller.
7-8 inches taller.
Yeah. Yep. Just not right.
And then again, on a sad note too, former WWE superstar Chad Gaspar, they found the body today, in Florida, in a riptide.
Saving his son.
Saving his son. They could have got him. He says, no, grab him,
Yeah.
and then come get me. And
Yeah, so I'm bummed out. I liked Crime Time. He was one half of Crime Time. He was the big guy of the two. And for a kid that grew up in the hood and liked the urban fucking thing, they were the only gimmick in pro wrestling that was
Right.
like that. I know everybody thinks that John Cena and his rapping thugonomic, all that bullshit. Get that fucking whack ass Vanilla Ice bullshit the fuck out of here. Like, these dudes were dropping N-bombs in their promos and shit, and getting away with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys were as hood as shit. Their fucking vignettes were of them like jacking people and shit.
Right.
It is fucking the greatest shit
I
I've
mean,
ever
yeah,
seen.
their act was spectacular.
Oh,
on
I
it.
fucking
But here's
loved
the
it.
kicker is too is like they said is like out of the ring. He was truly one of the, they said was one of the nicest guys you want to meet.
Well, if you know anything about Shad, you know he does movies and shit and TV and stuff too. He's got a little bit of
Right.
an acting resume. Not very big, not very long, but still very good nonetheless. He was in the Will Ferrell Kevin Hart movie, Get Hard.
Yeah.
Remember that
Yeah.
fucking thing? Oh, that's a great scene. He went over there to pick a fight with these guys, and so Shad was one of them. He does a lot of those little bit parts. He also had he was a feature in an episode on some like Nickelodeon show and stuff like that. I can't even remember. He's done a few things, and I like Shad. So we've got friends, a lot of mutual friends because of my business outside of this, my belt making business and being kind of indirectly involved in wrestling. So like I know a lot. I didn't know him personally, but I know a lot of people that knew him, and yeah, that's a sad one. The same thing with Supreme passed away not that long ago, and he's more known on the indie scene for like doing all that crazy deathmatch stuff. But he passed away. I think it was like cardiac arrest or heart attack,
Yeah.
or something like that. Not just like last week or something. It's like they're just dropping like flies left and right. Who else did we lose this last week or so in entertainment? I know I saw somebody else. Who was
We
it?
had quite a few people.
Like an actor or somebody. I want to say we lost an actor. An actor not that long ago. I can't even remember. But I mean, it's like it all runs together now.
Yeah.
But that we have so many celebrities and so many people out there like that. So you see a lot of that. So this one though, super sad. You know, getting washed by that like unexpected riptide, but I mean, a hero in every sense of the word. I mean,
Right.
You know, he saved his kid.
He's got his kid. Tells his kid, push off him. Go to the lifeguard. Go to the guy.
Yeah. So he got him out of there. So yeah, it's super sad. I am over the sad stories of. I'm done with it. I mean, you know. On a personal note, it's just been a lot of people in the entertainment world. There's been quite a few. It's just been a pretty, you know, if you look at it, morbidly depressing 2020.
Yes.
You know, so it's like I'm trying to stay away from that shit as far as I can. So, yeah, I seen the stories. I knew. I was wondering when they were going to find the body.
Yeah. Today found it on the beach.
When a eyewitness said that, you know, he was there, a wave came through, he looked back and he's gone, and they had been looking for a couple hours. At that point, you knew it was over.
Right.
It was a recovery mission, and then when they called that off late last night, you knew it was just a matter of when he washes up.
If he did.
Yeah, if he did, it's just a horrible, horrible, shitty situation. It sucks. So our thoughts and prayers with the family and all that stuff. and friends of Shad. He was a great guy from all accounts. Like I said, I didn't know him personally. Got a lot of mutual friends, and I actually watched a match that my buddy had with him like a few years ago on the Indies, and I was like, man, that's so it humanizes it a little bit even more so, personalizes it even more so. So I'm trying to stay away from that stuff. It's hard to get away when you can't get away. So yeah, it's one of those things. I don't want to do the tribute reel of 2020's lost entertainers.
No,
because we've already had some huge ones.
All right. Yep, we had that, and of course, the last 2 episodes of The Last Dance, and former players are not too former teammates are not too happy about
The fuck is he doing?
Forrest Grant was kind of bullshit, man. Honor, and again, a guy who ran a Pizza Hut on it goes, I didn't get poisoned. That's bullshit. He got poisoned by me. Kiss my ass. Dude, and then they were saying the Jazz players are saying this. Yeah, the Bulls hired Playboy playmates to deliver cakes.
Dude, you had the whole world convinced you had the flu, and not the cocaine flu. You know what I'm saying? Not the cocaine, liquor, and hooker flu. You had them all convinced that you played with a fever and did all. Just shut the fuck up. Why did you open your mouth about that situation at all? You are a fucking. Not only. I'm sorry. I watched that fucking thing. He might as well have said it was a fucking cocaine cowboy party up in that motherfucker when he came into the league. So, what? I don't think that he fucking. That shit got fucking real back then. He was fucking partying. He wasn't all coked up that he wasn't all fuck. Bullshit. Not only does he know that, this is what I learned about Mike.
Could have just kept his mouth shut.
This is what I learned about fucking Mike. This is what I learned about Mike right now. Okay, first off, the Pistons from the fucking late '80s, early '90s are still in his fucking head.
Rent free.
Absolutely. I've learned that from this documentary. The other thing I learned from this documentary, that motherfucker ain't afraid to lie, and he sucks at it.
Right.
So I learned that about him there. And the self-awareness isn't quite there with him as well, which we kind of figured. I mean, it just is what it is. Was he the greatest player of a generation? Without a fucking doubt. Is he going to be the GOAT in basketball going forward? It's going to be really hard to change that. I just believe that. But, dude, shut your fucking mouth. Stop it. Like, don't mess this thing up, man. Like, you had it. You had your lie wrapped up and given to you in a pretty package, and then you just shot it to shit and didn't think you were going to get called the fuck out on it.
Right. You got lucky because you faced basically Utah that year, too. And, of course, Robin takes off practice to go wrestle for the NWO.
Yes.
All I know is Robin's a madman. Even more so. And Carmen Electra, dude, is still banging.
He won multiple championships on multiple teams. He banged Madonna and Carmen Electra. So he got a young hottie and an old one.
And
he didn't give a fuck.
Was it Pamela Anderson, too?
I believe he was, yeah. So you got one in the middle, too. And you were a fucking professional wrestler for WCW and in the NWO.
Yes.
You partied anywhere, anytime, all the time. You could wear a fucking dress in blue lipstick and a motherfucker wouldn't step to you. That's a bad motherfucker right there.
Yes.
I met him at an AC/DC concert. I thought he was great. That was back when he was still a Piston before he was a total nut.
And you were in a couple really bad action movies, one with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yes, he got to be an action star, a pro wrestler. He got to bang fucking supermodels and legendary music artists. And he was friends with a fucking dictator.
Right.
He was friends with a fucking... He went and fucking kicked it with a Korean dictator after banging like Carmen Electra and doing fucking cocaine. Like, that's like the lifestyle he lived.
Maybe he's the GOAT.
That's what I'm saying.
In life.
Like, you might, if you're Charlie Sheen, Dennis Rodman's the fucking GOAT.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I got that. And of course, ESPN came out with their top 75 NBA players on there, and then Zeke got hosed on that one. Basically being placed behind both Stockton and Steve Nash.
Yeah.
Seriously, dude?
Right.
Oh, come on. Stop it. We saw what he did in Stockton when he basically got pissed off because he got left off the Dream Team.
Yep.
Lit him up like a
embarrassed him.
drum.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go on to it on there, he's probably going to go down. Realistically, he's the second best point guard that ever played a game.
All right.
Magic Johnson's number 1, Zeke's number 2. Zeke is probably the second best pound for pound player to ever play the game. Second best little man to ever play the game. 6'1" and smaller. Him and Iverson.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So, dude, and he won 2 championships. What did Stockton win? Nothing. What did Nash win? Well, nothing. And don't give me he won an MVP. He stole that MVP from Shaq. Stole it.
Highway robbery.
It was. It's highway robbery, man. That is grand theft MVP, man. That should be a felony.
Grand Theft MVP. That's awesome.
So.
Yeah, so there's a few things you learn from that, but I thought that was fucking funny. People were like, whoa. Not a good idea to bullshit. Like, that's something you should have probably...
Just went with the legend.
Yeah.
I had the flu.
Yep. Just let it go. Just let it go. First off, his whole story of 5 guys getting past security and delivering a pizza is just asinine.
Right.
I worked at a pizzeria. You don't have fucking 5 guys to give up.
No.
Let alone is it professional.
You got 1, maybe 2 top delivery guys. That's it.
It's not very professional to send more than 1 guy unless you literally have some. I had somebody order like 30 pizzas, and I still went by myself. Like, they're like, "Oh, you want me to send somebody?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm sure someone there will help me." So, and that was like for a convention or something. You're not delivering pizzas with all these guys. All these guys aren't getting past security to look in and nose in at Jordan. His whole comment of nodding in kind of acknowledging the guys, or kind of waving, saying, "Hey, thanks," is like his version of a tip. Like, all these things that he says in all these stories are in this. It just. I don't know, dude. It doesn't even sound real to me. It's like, so you're cool with just letting 5 random guys come deliver pizza? I don't understand. And like, you're just gonna be like, "Oh, no problem." But you would fucking, like, it was impossible to get an autograph from you, but you're just gonna high five the fucking 82 pizza guys that came. I mean, I don't know, dude. It just goes against everything we've ever known about Mike up to this point.
Right.
So it's just too hard to believe. So it's like, okay. It doesn't take away from anything, but just shut your mouth. Because it bothers me. It's the same thing with calling Scotty selfish.
Right.
It's like, dude, Scotty's selfish because he wanted to get surgery and get his shit taken care of. Well, it could have been done after the season. The guy was 122nd in the fucking payroll.
Right.
And he was playing like the fucking number 2 or 3 guy in the league. And you're talking about him being selfish. Meanwhile, you were doing what?
Did Scotty get suspended from the league for 2 years?
Right.
No.
I mean, come on. So it's just like, I don't know. It's just like some shit. Just shut up and, let the legend carry you, because
this definitely left a little bad taste in the mouth.
Yeah, it was. That was a bad ending to that scenario to me.
Especially when you had all rights on there editing wise, dude. Really? You let that out?
I know,
dude. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, once again, it just shows him how his self-awareness is just shot.
So,
but it was entertaining.
Oh yeah.
I mean, no doubt.
ESPN got the numbers. 5.79 million people watched it every episode, average.
I think they could have condensed that still. I just feel like they could have. And then, if you shut up and not say some of that shit, just cut some of that right out, then, you
could have got it done. As we said, it went 10 episodes. They could have wrapped it up in 6.
Yeah, I think so.
So, also, ESPN's come out their top players for each team under. Pistons-wise, we've got Zeke, Dumars, Grant Hill, Ben Wallace, and Bob Lanier. Don't want to get his... I don't know if I put Wallace over Rodman.
I would not put Wallace over Rodman. I love Ben Wallace, but if you put Ben Wallace over Dennis Rodman, you don't watch basketball.
Right. I mean, he's the heart and soul of that team, but, dude, Rodman was... Again, is a better player.
Rodman was a better player. He was a bigger role player when it came to how the Pistons played, and then he was the only thing that kept the Bulls in that championship when Scotty was gone.
Right.
He was able to do things, and he can't even shoot the ball. He never even really tried.
No.
He never had a shot of any kind.
No.
And so for him to affect the game the way he did, 20 rebounds in a game. For
average for a season.
Right.
Those are Will Chamberlain, Bob Lanier, Bill Russell numbers.
Right. For a guy that was fucking 6'9".
Right. I put Rodman over Wallace.
Yeah. I mean, Wallace didn't have a jump shot either. And Wallace didn't put up those gaudy numbers.
No. And he wasn't the defender that Rodman was.
Right.
Because Rodman can guard all 5.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And he did all the, and I don't take it away from Ben because he did do all that. He guarded pretty well at a couple positions, but he did do all that stuff. He played well.
He wasn't as athletic as
but he wasn't nearly as athletic. He didn't dive and do all those crazy saves and all those little things that don't show up on the stat sheet. He did it, but not to the level that Dennis Rodman did.
Right.
I mean, he just didn't. Like, you just don't watch basketball if you or didn't. For any length of time, if you think Ben, it's a generational thing. I get it, but I was here for both generations. I watched both.
I did too,
so
I
like that.
And being Bob Lanier at center wise, Bob Lanier was a bad man.
Right,
he was a bad man. I mean, dude, he was one of the best centers of the decade there, and he was a bad man out of St. Bonaventure there, wise with it. And again, I have no problem with Grant Hill being the small forward over Dave Bing. Right. I have no problem with that.
Right.
But yeah, Zeke and Dumars, that's a no
problem.
What it is, yeah. It is what it is on that. So, but you look on there, you look at the wise, and it's like, they got the Cavaliers. It's like you got the LeBron James, and then you got the guys that just couldn't get it done. Mark Price, Larry Nance, and Brad Daugherty on there, and then you got LeBron and Kyrie Irving. So it's like, two eras. Bulls were basically Jordan, Pippen, Robin on there.
That's funny.
Then Artis Gilmore and Derrick Rose at the. I put Rose at the starting because he did win an MVP there.
Yeah, he was good when he was young. If he didn't get hurt, and even his last season with Detroit, he played well. He just an injury.
And here's a kicker too: the Charlotte Hornets. And again, all of these are from the first, except for Kemba, are the first on there. And how the hell they didn't win a damn championship on there? Because you had Kemba's from the latest, but you had the first incarnation. You have Del Curry, Glenn Rice, Larry Johnson, and Mourning. How the hell did they not win a damn championship? Well, it was because of Jordan.
Yeah.
Dude, you had Rice, Grandmama, and Mourning on that same team. And Del Curry. You had all 4 of them on the same team.
Right.
How did they not get to an Eastern Conference Finals?
I think you already answered that.
I mean, I get that, but they could at least finished higher up than, say, Indianapolis or the Knicks or the Pistons. I mean, come on.
I mean, you're talking. Look at how
the year the Knicks won it on there. I mean,
just look at how the league was, though. I mean, you had 2 players on every team in the fucking league.
Yeah.
I just now you either have super teams or nothing. So that's starting to break up now. But I mean, that's what you were getting there, where you were having 3-4 guys on a team and then nothing over here, and then a couple of guys over there. But if they're not the right couple of guys, it doesn't matter. It might as well be nobody. So it's you got that thing. The right two guys over nothing.
How those come out? Greatest Sun team on there of all time is bullshit. You got Earl Monroe, then you got Carmen and Patrick Wade. Dude, no Dwyer. I mean, come on, seriously?
No Allen Houston.
No Bernard.
Had a couple of decent teams, but yeah, some of those teams on there just fucking horrible. I mean, oh, excuse me. I mean, outside of Boston and Chicago, and then you got the LA, and I don't know, you had the same. I mean, I don't know.
Well, Boston on it is a no-brainer. You got everybody from the '60s except for Paul Pierce and Larry Bird.
I mean, what's Phoenix got to offer, right?
Well, they don't even have their. This is just the East. So.
Oh, okay. So, what's a team that's been horrible forever? So, like Philly, it's going to be Allen Iverson.
Yeah, hold on here. I got it.
And then all some of these new guys?
No, there's none of the new guys.
Oh, okay.
Because back in the day, I mean, you're looking at it as the Sixers in the 60s,
so you go
70s, and 80s.
70s, yeah.
You had Iverson at the point, Hal Greer, which was from the 60s at the 2,
right.
Dr. J at the 3,
right.
Barkley at the 4, and Wilt at the 5.
Yeah, I forgot about Barkley, yeah. So yeah, they're all.
I mean,
older.
And then coming out the bench for Wilt would be Moses Malone. There's that reign from like 76 to like 84. Sixers are damn good. Problem is to get what the Sixers is they lost to Portland in 77.
So is Jordan on the Washington Wizards team?
No.
If they did the best Washington Wizards, would Jordan be?
Wizards
eligible?
are John Wall, Earl Monroe, Gus Johnson, Elvin Hayes, and Wes Unsled. Oh, okay. So basically, you've got
Jordan.
No Jordan. You've got all the Wizards.
You know he played for that team, right?
Yeah, I do. Okay. But he was terrible.
He's the GOAT.
Yeah, well, he was fat goat.
Fat goats need love too.
And then the Magic was Penny Hardaway, Nick Anderson, McGrady, Dwight Howard, and Shaq.
Yeah, what about Orlando's team? Do they get Shaq, or does the Lakers get Shaq? Who gets Shaq?
Well, if you're going at center, Orlando's got him, and the Heat has him.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Because you can't put Shaq over Kareem.
No, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
And again...
No, because Kareem could be the GOAT. Shit.
Kareem's also on the Bucks there at center, too. So...
That's funny.
And the Heat was Tim Hardaway, Dwayne Wade, LeBron... Lonzo, and Shaq. That's a damn good team.
Yeah.
I always liked Dwayne Wade. I thought he was a freaking beast. I thought he was just a true warrior. Even I liked Mourning too, because again, remember he had to get a kidney transplant because he was doing all that ibuprofen because he's flying across the damn world to play for the Dream Team. The Brooklyn Nets.
No, we're not doing it. This would be horrible. Jason Kidd,
Vince Carter, Dr. J when they were the New Jersey Nets back in the ABA, Buck Williams and Brook Lopez. Oh, God, that's terrible.
They're stretching. Oh, God damn. Guys, if you haven't had a chance, Studio57Radio.com. We're going to have some T-shirts coming up there in the coming weeks. We'll post up some silly nonsense there soon. So check out the site. It is under construction, but great place to check out the show, get some clips of other shows, find out when shows are on and what other shows are about, because we got a bunch of other podcasts too. BCU podcast this Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern will be changing up a little bit, a little different than normal. It'll be from an undisclosed location, and we'll be changing things up a little bit. Got some cool news in that show as well. We'll be doing some more Notorious POD replays leading up to new episodes this summer, so look for that also on the website. If you haven't followed us on Twitter at Studio 57, like the Studio 57 radio page, and go to the YouTube channel. hit subscribe, get your notifications, and make sure you don't miss out on anything. Get involved in the chat room, social media, and our text line, 313-307-5340. Lock that thing, use it anytime we are live, or if you just want to reach out. We are available on SoundCloud, Spreaker, and those aforementioned platforms, TuneIn and Stitcher. Patreon coming soon, so make sure you don't miss out. And I think we're going to move on to, like, you know, all the Pod Buddies and all those other crazy ones, Podbean and all that other nonsense. So you'll find us everywhere.
Everywhere, anywhere that your heart desires.
Yes, in the coming weeks. So, thanks for chiming in and hanging out with us. Appreciate it. And again, we'll be back here doing this dirt again.
And again, if you're going to have some fun this weekend, just be careful out there. Be safe. And again, if you're staying home, yes, you can drink as many adult beverages as you want.
Yes.
I am.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I plan on finishing off a couple of the bottles of the bourbon.
Yeah, I'm getting into it, man. I'm going up to the cabin in the middle of the fucking woods. I'm going to be locked down like a fucking horror movie and liquored up like a fucking horror movie, okay? It's going to be everything a slasher movie has to offer except for the murders. It'll be great. It'll be sex, drugs, rock and roll in the middle of the fucking woods. Whoop-de-whoop-de-woo. I'll be social distancing like a motherfucker. So the only thing that's going to catch corona for me is going to be like a bear or something. So guys, be safe, have fun. Stay away from the crazy people. Really, if they're driving you nuts, just
walk away.
Just walk away. Just click unfriend or unfollow or block or delete or turn the other cheek or walk away or ignore or laugh or just snicker in disgust as you walk the other direction. But do not let them take you down with them. We need you here next week.
In the meantime, peace out, brothers.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.